Space has always been a mystery, and this mystery has led many organizations and human beings to explore it. And one such organization is SpaceX. This company has changed the whole scenario of the space industry in the last 20 years. And this organization has achieved feats and success in the space industry and in the space field that no company has ever achieved. This company is owned by one of the most influential personalities of the world, and the name of that personality is Elon Musk. Elon Musk is owner of companies like Tesla, SolarCity, and SpaceX, and he has led SpaceX to success that no one could ever think of. So let's today have a look at the journey of SpaceX and how it achieved so much success in such a short span of time. SpaceX saw many failures and successes, and today we'll have a look at every single success and the start of the journey of the SpaceX organization. So the journey of SpaceX started in October 2001 when Musk traveled along with Eddie Oresi and Jim Carter to purchase the Napier intercontinental ballistic missiles for carrying payloads from Russia. He met companies like Cosmotros and NPO Lavochkin, but the deal could not happen. In February 2002, he again went to Russia with Mike Griffin, who was a former CIA employee, and this time he was offered a deal of ICBM missiles whose cost was $8 billion, but Musk rejected the deal considering the deal too expensive. On flight back, he decided to form a new company, and on May 2002, SpaceX was formed with a capital of $100 million. So it was on the day of 28th September 2008 that SpaceX launched its first rocket, whose name was Falcon 1. Falcon 1 got off to an inauspicious start. The first flight attempted only lasted about a minute, and the next two fell short. But on the fourth attempt, the Falcon 1 successfully reached the orbit, and it became the first privately developed liquid fuel rocket to reach Earth orbit. On December 8, 2010, SpaceX used its Falcon 9 rocket to send Dragon spacecraft into the orbit. So Dragon is a capsule that was built to carry people into the orbit. But this mission was very special because Dragon made history when it returned to Earth, splashing in Pacific Ocean about 300 miles off the Mexican coast. This feat was never achieved before by any private space organization, and SpaceX became the first organization to get its spacecraft returned to the surface of the Earth. So after achieving success in 2010, SpaceX launched another successful mission. And this time, SpaceX on the day of 22nd May 2012 from the Cape Canaveral station launched its Crew Dragon C2 rocket. And after launching this rocket, SpaceX became the first space organization to send a rocket to the International Space Station. Never any never any space organization had achieved this feat before, and this was a huge success for SpaceX. And this mission was carried out under the Commercial Resupply Services Program, and this program SpaceX had in collaboration with the NASA, that is an space organization of the United States of America. And on May 31st, 2012, after carrying out all the missions, the capsule of the space craft was recovered, and this was the first time that an American spacecraft reached ISS after the space shuttle program of the United States of America. On 22nd December 2015, SpaceX launched its Falcon 9 rocket from the Cape Canaveral pad. This mission was also called the Orbocom OG2M2 mission. And in this mission, satellites were launched into the Earth's orbit. And the satellites that were launched, their name was Orbocom satellites. By the help of this mission, 11 Orbocom satellites were launched into the Earth's orbit. In this mission, a very special feat was achieved. In this mission, it was the first time that the first stage of an orbital rocket made a successful return to the surface of the Earth. And not only this, the rocket made a successful vertical landing on the surface of the Earth. And this feat was never achieved before by any other space organization. So in the year 2015, SpaceX launched Falcon 9 rocket into Earth's orbit and then managed to get it back. But SpaceX was not satisfied with this. So in the year 2016, it achieved another feat. And that was that it managed in the year 2016 to get a rocket back not only to the surface of the Earth but in the middle of an ocean and landing that rocket on a very small object. This was a huge achievement for SpaceX. But this mission was not a success at first because it faced many crashes before it became successful. But ultimately, SpaceX managed to land this rocket in the ocean and achieved a great feat. So, from the start of the journey of the SpaceX and its first launch in 2008 to the year 2016, SpaceX had achieved a lot of success. It had seen a lot of failures too, but it had achieved things that no other space organization had achieved before. And Elon Musk was a firm believer in making space technology more cheaper. And so, in the quest of making space technology more cheaper, in the year 2017, SpaceX launched its Falcon 9 rocket. And on the 30th March 2017, from the Kennedy Space Center, it launched its Falcon 9 rocket. This mission was also called the SES-10 mission because in this mission, SES-10 satellites were launched into the space. And these satellites were going to be used for broadcasting in Mexico, Caribbean, Brazil, and other Latin American countries. But this mission was very special as it was for the first time in aerospace history that a rocket was reused for launching a space mission. Never such a feat had been achieved that a rocket that was used before could be used again in launching a space mission. This was a breakthrough moment in space history, and this would make space travel and space missions more cheaper. And not only this, the first stage of the rocket was recovered for the second time, and this was another record in itself that had never been achieved by any other space organization before. So after reusing a rocket in 2017 and achieving success, in the year 2018, SpaceX launched another mission. And in this mission, it launched its Falcon Heavy rocket into the space. This rocket was launched on 6th of February 2018 and it was launched from the Kennedy Space Center. And with the successful launch of this mission, Falcon became the most powerful and successful rocket in operation. And it was the first time that such a heavy rocket was sent into space by any space organization. It was so powerful that it produced a thrust of 3 million pounds during the launch. And its liftoff capacity was twice that of the United Airlines Delta III rocket. So by these statistics you can imagine how powerful this rocket was. But not only this, there was one more special thing about this mission. In this mission, the Falcon heavy rocket was carrying a payload, and this payload was a Tesla Roadster car belonging to the Tesla company. In the car was sitting a dummy astronaut by the name of Starman, and Starman was named for the David Bowie song Starman. This mission made SpaceX more successful and more popular. So in 2019, SpaceX launched another mission, and this mission was launched in the Crew Dragon 1 rocket of SpaceX organization. This mission was launched on 2nd March 2019 from the Kennedy Space Center, and this rocket arrived at the International Space Center on 3rd of March 2019. This mission was not a success at the start, as on 20th April 2019 the capsule used on Crew Dragon Demo 1 rocket got destroyed. But eventually this mission became a success after the spacecraft reached on the ISS on the 3rd of March. This flight was not carrying any astronauts with it, but it was carrying an anthropomorphic test device that was wearing a custom flight suit also. The anthropomorphic test device was named as Ripley, and the mission carried approximately 400 pounds of payload and supplies with it. This mission was a huge landmark and a breakthrough moment for the SpaceX organizations for its future missions. So in the year 2019, SpaceX launched another successful mission. This mission was also called the Starlink 1 mission. And this mission was launched from the Cape Canaveral Air Force Station that is situated in Florida, America. So Starlink is a satellite internet constellation that is built by SpaceX for providing internet access. And the constellation of these satellites consists of thousands of small satellites in low Earth orbit. With the help of this mission, 60 such satellites were launched into the orbit. And this was the first time that a payload fairing was reused again in a space mission. So payload fairing is a nose cone that protects a satellite during the launch. And the development program of this mission was going on since the year 2015. This was a very important mission for SpaceX, as it was planning to sell the satellites to the American Army and other important organizations in the United States of America. On May 30, 2020, SpaceX launched its first crewed flight called Demo 2, becoming the first private company to both place a person into orbit and to eventually dock a crewed spacecraft with the International Space Stations. Further, the launch was the first time since the end of the shuttle program that an American astronaut was launched from American soil on an American rocket. And the name of the two scientists that were part of this mission was Bob Behnken and Doug Hurley. This spacecraft was designed to carry 7 astronauts with it. And not only this rocket and crew were also carrying some payloads along with it. One payload was a space painting and an art collection that was based on space travel. And the other payload, as you can see, was a 2020 graduate shaped as the Earth's planet. So these all were the missions that SpaceX has carried out. Now we'll talk about some of the future projects of SpaceX. And one of those projects is to carry a lunar circumnavigation mission in 2023 in a flight that would be called as a Dear Moon project. In this, it would carry tourists to the moon. Another project of SpaceX is to establish a colony in Mars by the year 2020. So this was all for this video, friends, and if you like this video, please share and subscribe it and subscribe to my channel. Thank you.